There is so many great states for high school basketball players. However, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you the top 25 worst states for high school basketball players. When you think of top states for high school basketball players, you immediately think of California, Texas, New York, and other states like that. And there's so many more, that's just to name a few. And I also made a video on the top 25 states, so if y'all want to check that out, I'll leave a link down below. And even though there's a bunch of good states, there's also a lot of bad ones. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the video. Alright, before we really dive into the rankings, I need to explain how I came up with them. No, this is not just my personal opinion, this is based off of facts and research. I'm ranking these states off of 3 major stats. The first one is number of nationally ranked recruits. The second column is number of top 100 national recruits. And the third and final column is number of top 10 national recruits. So that's the basic information and rundown on how these rankings were made. Oh yeah, before I get to mention, these rankings are based off the last 5 years of high school players and stats. That's a good amount of quality and quantity, so I think it's fair to go off of. And that's basically all there is to it, and as we go along with this video, you'll definitely get the hang of it. Now, it is time. The top 25 worst states for high school basketball players. Let's do this. Starting it off and coming in at number 25, we have Missouri. Missouri has had 42 nationally ranked recruits in the past 5 years. And out of those 42, they've had 6 in the top 100, which is pretty decent. But out of those 6, they've only had 1 in the top 10. Missouri isn't really a bad state for high school basketball, and they was very close to even making the top 25 list for best states. But however, they just came up a little short. One thing I almost forgot to mention is that for each and every state, I'm going to name one notable player that has came out of there. In my recent video for the top 25 states, I did a high school player, but I may even do some NBA players to make things a little different and interesting. And one of the best players in the class of 2020 for Missouri is Cameron Fletcher. He's a small forward who played at Vashon High School and is 6'6" and 195 pounds. And on ESPN, he's ranked as a 4-star recruit and has signed with Kentucky. That's a very solid player for Missouri, and this is why they come in at number 25 on our list. Coming in at number 24 on our list, we have Utah. Over the years, Utah has had 32 nationally ranked recruits, which is a lot less than Missouri. Even though they've only had 32, though, they also had 6 in the top 100 to match Missouri. But Missouri does have the upper hand because they have 0 in the top 10. One of the best players to come out of Utah is Byron Scott. He's from Ogden, Utah, and played for the Los Angeles Lakers and had a very successful NBA career. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I also think Damian Lillard is from Ogden, Utah. I can't remember, I heard that somewhere, but anyways, our player is Byron Scott. And Byron helped lead the Lakers to 3 championships. And before he played for the Lakers, he wound up playing 3 years of college basketball at Arizona State. And overall, for his 14-year NBA career, he averaged 14 points, nearly 3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game. But that being said, this is why Utah comes in at number 24 on our list. Coming in at number 23 on our list, we have Kentucky. This is kind of ironic because Kentucky has one of the best college basketball programs in the nation. However, most of their recruits are not even from there. Kentucky has had 41 recruits ranked in the past years. They've also had 6 in the top 100 and only 1 in the top 10. And one of the best players from there in the recent class actually is Justin Powell. He's from Goshen, Kentucky, I think that's how you say it, and he's 6'6" and 196 pounds. He's actually signed with Auburn, and he's also a 4-star recruit, so this is a pretty big pickup for Auburn. If you watch college basketball, you would not think Kentucky would even be on this list. But this isn't college basketball, this is based off of high school prospects, and they don't produce many of them. Coming in at number 22, we have Iowa. Iowa has produced a very lousy 17 nationally ranked recruits. But out of those 17, they have 4 in the top 100 and 0 in the top 10. And one of the top players from Iowa in the recent class is Xavier Foster. He's 6'10", comes in at 225 pounds, and he's a 4-star recruit who's committed to play at Iowa State. So I actually like that he's keeping it close to home because a lot of recruits actually don't do that. There's not too much more to be said about Iowa, so let's head into our next one. Coming in at 21, we have another state that you wouldn't think would be on this list, and that state is Kansas. Kansas has had 49 nationally ranked recruits, and even though that sounds really good, they've only had 3 in the top 100. And of course, they've had 0 in the top 10. And one of the best players to ever come out of Kansas is Lionel Hollins. He was born on October 19th in 1953, and he was from Arkansas City, Kansas. He played for many NBA teams and had a very successful college career. And he really represented Kansas very well. Coming in at 20 on our list, we have Arizona. Arizona, like Kansas, has a lot of recruits nationally ranked with 47. But also like Kansas, they've had 3 in the top 100. but they do have one in the top 10, so hey, that's pretty nice. And the best player to come out of Arizona is definitely Sean Elliott. He was born February 2nd in 1968 in Tucson, Arizona. He played his high school basketball at Chawla High School, of course his college ball at the University of Arizona, and played in the pros for a lot of teams. He was an All-American for Arizona and had one of the best college careers for a player in that state. Not only that, he was also on the Spurs team that won the 1999 NBA championship. So hey, that's not too shabby. Coming in at number 19 on our list, we gotta throw it all the way over to Arkansas. And I'm not gonna lie, this one was kind of a surprise to me. They've only had 22 nationally ranked recruits. They've also had 3 in the top 100 and 0 in the top 10. And of course, we gotta use a fan favorite. One of the best players to ever come out of Arkansas is definitely Scottie Pippen. He was born on September 25th in 1965 in Hamburg, Arkansas. And for college, he kept it close to home and went to Central Arkansas and had a really good career. Do I really have to say too many things about him? You know his story. He got drafted to the Bulls and him and Michael Jordan went on to have a dominant run. So with that being said, this is why Arkansas comes in at number 19 on our list. Coming in at number 18 on our list, we have Vermont. Vermont has had 13 ranked recruits, which is by far the lowest out of everyone so far. They've had 3 in the top 100 and of course they've had 0 in the top 10. And this was a very hard one to find, but trust me, one of the best players to come out of Vermont is Taylor Copenrath. And unless you're a basketball junkie, you've probably never heard of this guy just like me. And a little fun fact to throw in there, Vermont is actually the only state that has never produced an NBA player. Copenrath did matter in fact actually go overseas and play, so hey, at least he made it to the pro level. I'm not gonna lie, I thought Vermont was going to be way higher on our list, but they're actually not as bad as we think. So for that reason, this is why they come in at number 18 on our list. Coming in at number 17 on our list, we have West Virginia. West Virginia, just like Vermont, has had 13 ranked recruits. Out of 13, they've only had 3 in the top 100, and if you haven't guessed by now, almost every state from here on out is going to have 0 in the top 10. And the best player arguably that has ever came out of West Virginia is Jerry West. Jerry West was born on May 28th in 1938 in Sharyland, West Virginia, and he attended East Bank High School. And he actually went to college in West Virginia, but played in the pros for the Los Angeles Lakers. And if you don't live under a rock, you guys know the rest. He was a great player for the NBA. With all that being said, Jerry West is definitely a good representative for them. Coming in at number 16 on our list, we gotta go all the way back up north to Wisconsin. I guess 13 is the number of the video because they've had 13 nationally ranked recruits as well. And just like our previous 2 states, they've had 3 in the top 100 and 0 in the top 10. And for Wisconsin, the player I'm going to choose to use is Jordan McCabe. This guy was a YouTube sensation and really known for his handles. In high school, he was listed at 5'10 and 155 pounds, but I can almost guarantee you now he's a little bit bigger. And he actually wound up committing and signing to West Virginia, and he hasn't had that great of a college career, but he seems like a great kid. Hopefully he can turn things around very soon because I actually really enjoyed watching him. We've made it to the top 15. Well, now that I think about it, it's actually the worst top 15 states for high school basketball. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 15, we have Oklahoma. Oklahoma has had 22 nationally ranked recruits in the past 5 years. Even though that sounds somewhat decent, they've had a very lousy 2 in the top 100 and 0 in the top 10. And for Oklahoma's player, I'm gonna go with a guy you guys have never even heard of. And he goes by the name of Mark Price. He was born on February 15th in 1964 in Bartonsville, Oklahoma. He wound up playing for a ton of teams in the NBA and was an outstanding college player. And a little fun fact to throw in there, he was actually the second player after Larry Bird to reach the 50-40-90 club with 50% shooting from the field and 40% shooting from 3. That is a very exclusive honor, so we gotta give credit where credit is due. With all that being said, let's head into our next one. Coming in at number 14 on our list, we got Colorado. Colorado has had 16 players nationally ranked. They've had 2 in the top 100, and of course, they've had 2 in the top 100 and 0 in the top 10. And one of the best players to ever represent Colorado is Chauncey Billups. He was born on September 25th in 1976 in Denver, Colorado. He wound up going to high school at George Washington High School, college at the University of Colorado, and played for many teams in the NBA. And there's not too much to say because you guys know how good he was. So with that being said, this is why Colorado comes in at number 14 on our list. Coming in at number 13 on our list, we gotta keep it somewhat out west, and we have Oregon. Oregon has only had 11 nationally ranked recruits, which I believe is the lowest so far. Out of 11, they've had 2 in the top 100 and of course 0 in the top 10. And probably one of the more better players to come out of Oregon is definitely Danny Ainge. He was born on March 17th in 1959 in Eugene, Oregon. He went to college at BYU and played for a lot of NBA teams as well. He's well known in the NBA community and was a very solid player for his time in the league. And for those reasons, this is why Oregon comes in at number 13 on our list. Coming in at number 12 on our list, we have Nebraska. This is when the numbers are about to take a huge decline. Nebraska has had a very lousy 8 nationally ranked recruits, and they've only had 1 in the top 100. I'm gonna quit doing a top 10 list because every team has 0 from this point forth. And by far, one of the best players from Nebraska in this recent year is definitely Hunter Salas. He's from Omaha, Nebraska, is 6'3" and coming in at 175 pounds. He's also a 4-star recruit and ranked the 19th best overall player in his class. So it's really looking like this is Nebraska's only hope to have a really good player in a very long time. Coming in at number 11 on our list, we have Maine. Maine has only had 5 nationally ranked recruits and 0 in the top 100. And for Maine, in this recent year, the guy who won the Basketball Player of the Year was Bryce Lazier. He went to high school in Hampton Academy and he overall had a great high school career. We're getting closer, baby. We have made it to the top 10 of our list and things are about to get really interesting. And let me just tell you, some of these states are definitely going to shock you. Coming in at number 10 on our list, we have Delaware. Delaware has only had 3 nationally ranked recruits, but they've had 1 in the top 100, which is kind of surprising. And one of the best players for Delaware in this recent year was Elijah Allen. He was a guard who came in at 6'2", 180 pounds and was from Dover, Delaware. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year, so he's not too bad. And for these reasons, this is why Delaware comes at a number 10 on our list. Coming in at number 9 on our list, we have the potato state known as Idaho. Idaho has had 3 nationally ranked recruits and 0 in the top 100. And one of the best players to come out of Idaho is Luke Ridnour. He was born on February 13th in 1981. He wound up going to college at the University of Oregon and played a long time in the NBA. And he was actually a McDonald's All-American in his senior year of high school. And that's a very prestigious honor. They don't just hand that out to anyone. So overall, this was a very good representative for Idaho, and this is why they come in at number 9 on our list. Coming in at number 8 on our list, we gotta throw it all the way over to the East Coast, and we have Rhode Island. Rhode Island has only had 3 nationally ranked recruits, but listen to this. They've had 2 in the top 100. And for our player for Rhode Island, we gotta throw it all the way back to January 15th of 1951. This is when Ernie DeGregorio was born in North Providence, Rhode Island. And he wound up playing in the NBA for a very solid 6 seasons. Just for Rhode Island to have a player to make it to the NBA, that's phenomenal itself. With that being said, let's head into our next one. Coming in at number 7 on our list, we gotta go kinda back out to the West Coast and we have Wyoming. Wyoming, like many of our other states, have had 3 nationally ranked recruits, but they've had 0 in the top 100. And one of the best players to ever come out of Wyoming is J.C. Carrell. He was born on April 16th in 1983 and went to Evanston High School. And he wound up going to college at Utah State and was a very solid player. When he was a junior, he averaged 27.4 points per game, 3.3 steals, and 3 assists. And as a senior, he set the state record for points per game with 39.4. So yeah, I think we can all agree this kid could ball. But he's from Wyoming, so I'm sure he holds almost every state record because there's no legit hoopers out there. Coming in at number 6 on our list, we gotta keep it out at the West Coast and we have Montana. Montana has the lowest so far with 0 ranked recruits and 1 in the top 100, which is kind of shocking. And the best player to ever come out of Montana was Adam Morrison. He was born on July 19th in 1984 in Glendive, Montana. And he went to college at Gonzaga and had a pretty decent NBA career. And at Gonzaga, he averaged 19 points per game, but in his junior year, he led the nation in scoring with 28.1 points per game. So yeah, that definitely speaks for itself. But besides this guy, there's really been no legit hoopers come out of there. And with that being said, this is why Montana comes in at number 6 on our list. Yes sir, now we have made it to the moment you guys have all been waiting for, the top 5 worst states for high school basketball players. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 5 on our list, we have New Mexico. New Mexico has produced a new lowest 1 nationally ranked recruit. Not recruits, recruit. And of course, this guy was not in the top 100. And the best player to ever come out of New Mexico, surprisingly, is Andre Robertson, which is a pretty decent player. He was born on December 4th in 1991. He went to college at Colorado and started out his NBA career at Oklahoma City. And he's been pretty decent, but he cannot shoot free throws, so my guy, you really need to work on that. Coming in at number 4 on our list, we have Alaska. I'm not gonna lie, this is somewhat surprising because I thought they'd be number 1 or at least number 2, but they're not. Alaska has had 0 nationally ranked recruits, so of course they have 0 in every other category. But surprisingly, they've actually produced many NBA players. They've produced Carlos Boozer and Mario Chalmers. So those definitely help their case, and this is why they're not one of the worst teams technically. With that being said, let's head into our top 3. Coming in at number 3 on our list, we have Hawaii. Hawaii has also produced 0 ranked recruits. And for Hawaii, the best player to come out of there so far is Cedric Celebus. He was born on August 2nd in 1969 in Maui, Hawaii. But he attended his high school ball at Compton, California and played college in Cal State. And he made it to the NBA, and let me just tell you, he played for a ton of teams, including the Harlem Globetrotters. But for a guy coming out of Hawaii, I definitely think that's a successful and great career. So that's why he's our player for Hawaii, and this is why they come in at number 3 on our list. I'm not gonna lie guys, I'm getting excited. I really love this video, and if you like my content and you're actually enjoying this, leave a like down below because this video took an extremely long time to make. It took a lot of research, a lot of time and effort, so like I said, I don't ask for likes a lot, but I would definitely appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's get into our top 2 worst states. Coming in at number 2 on our list for the worst states for high school basketball, we have North Dakota. North Dakota has produced 0 nationally ranked recruits, 0 top 100, and of course 0 top 10. But however, they have produced a pretty solid NBA player recently, and that player goes by the name of Tyler Johnson. He was born on May 7th in 1992 in Grand Forks, North Dakota, but he went to high school in California and went to college at Fresno State. This guy was never really known as a big time scorer, but for some reason he landed a big contract with Miami recently. But honestly, for a guy just to make it out of that state, that's really impressive. So Tyler, I gotta give you my props, and this is why they come in at number 2 on our list. Coming in at number 1 on our top 25 worst states for high school basketball players, we have a neighbor to North Dakota, and we have South Dakota. Oh man, that sucks. It really sucks. Y'all are neighbors and you're the worst. But I mean, I guess if you really think about it, it makes sense, because if there wasn't really talent in North Dakota, why would there be talent in South Dakota? Alright, anyways, let's continue on. South Dakota has produced 0 all around the board, no ranked recruits whatsoever. But however, just like North Dakota, they have produced a pretty solid NBA player recently. And he's actually a crowd and fan favorite, and he goes by the name of no other than Mike Miller. Mike Miller, man, he is a 3-point specialist. He was born on February 19th in 1980 in Mitchell, South Dakota. He went to high school at Mitchell High School and college in Florida. And the rest is basically history. He was in the NBA forever. And for his NBA career, he had a very impressive average of 40.7% from beyond the arc. And he actually was a crucial part to Miami's run for 2 straight championships. And for those reasons right there, this is why Mike Miller is our player for South Dakota. Even though they have produced Mike Miller and he is really good, that's all they produced. And for that being said, this is why they come in at number 1 on our list. There's a lot of good states for high school basketball, like I stated at the beginning of this video. But after watching this video, you now also realize that there's a lot of bad states for high school basketball players. So if you're currently living in one of these states, let's just say the odds are definitely not in your favor, but it's not quite impossible. It's just somewhat going to be harder because they're not known for producing great athletes. But hey, I'm a firm believer, if you're good and you're great at what you do, somebody will find you. There's not too much more to be said. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button, and if you like content like this, hit that subscribe button as well. I really appreciate the support. It means a lot. We're about to hit 50K, and I really don't know what to say. Like, it's crazy. You guys have absolutely changed my life. I just want to say thank you guys for all the support, for everyone that hits the like button before you even watch the video. That means so much to me. And Nody Gang, I see y'all as soon as I post a video. Y'all comment Nody Gang. I appreciate that, and it means the world to me. But yeah, man, with all this being said, that's about gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you are new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family and hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.